So super excited about the podcast today. Before we get started though, I do want to tell you about two things. Ollie Smile, some wonderful products. They have toothpaste, they have whitening strips. In fact, my daughter the other day, she was telling me how much that she loves their whitening strips. So a couple of different formulations that they have possible when it comes to toothpaste. You can get 10% off by using my code. I'm going to leave that down below. Another thing is Smile Virtual. What is Smile Virtual? Well, it's simply an avenue that you and I can start the process of discussing what's possible with your smile. So if you're sitting at home and wondering, am I a good candidate for no prep veneers, or what's possible with changing my smile? What can I do to improve my smile? This is a great first step to start. It's really easy. It's free. And it just starts the process. There's no commitment there, but it allows you and I to get to know one another and talk about what your goals would be for your smile. So let's get into it. I'm Dr. Will Umflett, Dr. Dr. Will Umflett on Instagram is my handle. And I guess this is episode 2 of my podcast. I'm a cosmetic dentist, do smile transformations. But I love getting patients in and talking about the story behind their smile transformations and what that process was like before, during, and after, and getting their input. It's always great to, especially a few weeks after, maybe a month or two after, circle back with the patient and just get their input, because there's always a lot there that that's uncovered as far as what takes place when somebody transforms their smile. So today I have the honor of having Alicia Payne.
Hello.
Hey, Alicia. So Alicia and I go pretty far back, several years.
Yes, several years. I'm a stylist, and I do the whole family, minus Will, funnily.
Right, that's true.
But yes, many years.
Yeah. Let's just talk about your smile. So you and I mean, I've been in sales in the past, now being in dentistry, being a stylist, we're people facing jobs. We're dealing with people all the time.
Yes.
We're talking, we're interacting, our smile, our presence, how we show up matters. How we show up means a whole lot.
Yes.
And how we interact with people, how we make them feel, and how we're delivering on whatever we're bringing to the table, whether it's a stylist or dentist or whatnot. So how long, in your mind, had you wanted to change your smile? Had your smile been something that you wanted to change? Talk to me a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. So I guess probably when I was around 11 or 12 was when I noticed, my teeth may be a little different from my peers and things like that. I think it just affects everyone different, like case to case. And it was always something that just was in the back of my mind and bothered me. When I meet someone or I look at someone, that's the first thing I notice is their smile, right? And I think like my face symmetry, I just kind of always knew like more could be there. And, many reasons why I didn't get braces and things like that, but I didn't. And so I just kind of learned to love it the best I could, sometimes you just do that. And, but yes, it's something that has been very important to me, let's see, I guess around 20 years.
Yeah.
Something like that. So this is very exciting. I find myself just beaming all the time. But I love it so much.
Awesome.
So you just dive into the technical questions.
So, all right. So we're talking about 20 years that's
Yes.
kind of been on your radar.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
Not really like.
That's a long time.
Not love some, but not even like something.
So did you find yourself just like, all right, so you've gone through this transformation.
Yes.
Did you find yourself like, now I act a little bit better? I mean, not better. I act a little different. Maybe I don't know, when I'm interacting with a client
I get
or
what
anything
you're
like
saying.
that.
Yes, presence-wise, 100%, absolutely. There's an underlying current of confidence that it's just there.
Yeah.
Just talking to someone, there's a confidence there.
Mm-hmm.
I work behind a mirror,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't want to stare at myself all day, but
You are.
I'm there. I'm in the mirror, and even myself, I'd be talking to them, and my eyes would hit my teeth. And now, I don't even look at it because I'm like,
Yeah.
I know it looks great. Like, I just love it. And people have come up, they're like, it's changed the look of your face on the bottom, and
Yes.
it looks amazing. They're like, it just fits you perfectly. I'm
Yeah.
like, thank you. I feel that way. That's basically what I'm projecting right now.
That's awesome. So we've known each other for a while. I start doing more social media, start talking about what I'm able to provide for patients and smile design and veneers and no prep veneers and that sort of thing. So I guess it was you mentioning to Neely basically. And, when you saw that, what were some of the things that maybe went through your head when you...
So I've heard about, everyone's heard of veneers and that. I've heard of it here and there, but I didn't really know anything about it. I've heard some horror stories like, oh, you shave your tooth down to the little nubby, and I'm like, God, that sounds horrible. Just pull them out. But so when you told me the no prep, I was like, okay. I was very interested, and you keep my teeth are still there. We know they're still there, 100%. The enamel's still there. It was not painful at all. I didn't know what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised that the entire process was pretty much really easy.
Yeah. That's great to hear. Yeah, absolutely.
It really was. People ask me, they're like, did it hurt? Did it hurt? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It really didn't. It didn't hurt. Now, I will say it's extremely odd at first. When you get done, you're like, wait, my lips don't fit around my teeth the same way. I'm kind of talking with a lisp for a second. But that goes away in 2 days.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, okay, this feels like my teeth, and everything's adjusted.
And that's a good point. That's a good point right there. And I've talked about that. Some of my posts is that, your smile is custom designed for you to fit your face. And now like you said, you don't even think about it. You said 2 days. You do, for potential patients, you do need to give yourself a little time to get used to this new smile, the fullness and that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
And like you said, talking. But in no time, it's like,
Easily.
I feel like this has always been like this.
Yes, it easily adjusts. Yeah, for sure.
Another thing I thought about too, you being a stylist, I being a dentist, the process, I'm thinking back to that point to where we had talked about doing your case. We had worked with the lab. We did your smile design. You come in and we do the try-in, put in the temps, take off the stent, and then you're able to see in the mirror what the final product would look like. And that's an immediate transformation, just like that.
Oh,
I mean,
sure. I didn't want to take them out.
It's got to be
wait,
kind of
can't wear these until
right. There's very few things that you can deliver for a customer, for a patient, where it has that immediate transformation. And I imagine you're doing the same thing too for your customers, of when they see that transformation.
Yes.
It's like, wow.
100%.
I look like a completely different person. Or I didn't know this was possible, that you could make this small change here and there, and then it just totally transforms you as a person.
Yes, and I've told you before that I feel like you have an amazing attention to detail with your artsy side. You do, you do. And it's the same thing with hair. There's so many underlying things that you're not thinking of. You can brighten their skin tone, matching the shape of their face. Some people look 5-10 years younger, you know, when they leave. But to see their eyes light up and they're like, you can just see that they feel good. I imagine yours is like my job, but times a million, because this is a huge thing.
It's super rewarding. Well, so rewarding. But I think for you and I, you would agree that you have to earn that trust from your customer, from your patient, of trust me on this.
Yes.
that whether we're designing your smile or I'm cutting your hair, we're going to make it longer, shorter, change the color, whatever. Trust me,
Yes.
that eye to detail and that artistic ability that I'm going to be able to draw out and deliver on the outcome that you want that's going to benefit you.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Dr. Yu is going to do that. He's amazing. They asked me, like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, go see Dr. On Foot. He's amazing. Being in the service industry with people, you know, I find I've been in that profession for a little over 10 years. And I find that even if your skill is unmatched, you have to have that personability, that likability with people too. And 100% you have that.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
it's making
Thank
them feel comfortable, safe. Like, I've got you. We're going to make this the best experience possible. 100%.
Thank
Nail
you.
it.
Well, it's a truly a team effort, honestly, of communication. You know, whether it's that day that we tried in the temps and what do we like, what do we not like, do we need to change the length, the contours, the shade, anything like that. That's just communication as well with you and your customers, me with my patients, same,
Yeah.
you know, right? You just want to be clear on what you're wanting to deliver on and what you're able to do. So any surprises during that? You said, hey, it didn't hurt at all. It was easy. Did it surprise you? I mean, now that it's behind you, were you like, man, that was like, I had in my mind that it was going to be this like 3-month, 4-month, 5-month process, or we was going to be pulling out these drills and I was just going to push through it. And yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. There were no drilling,
No.
heavy drills of any kind. Not painful. I would say the only part that maybe surprised me was when you had to. Is it cardstock? Is that the thing you like? You go in between the teeth. Yes.
We have to.
So,
You're just removing
Look.
the cement in between the teeth and all.
You guys
Yeah.
don't know this, but Dr. Yu he's a fit guy, okay? And I mean, he is like doing this elbow grease to get this in between my
Yes.
teeth. It did not hurt. Let me
Yeah.
just say it was not painful. I knew he was there for
Yeah.
sure. But in my mind, I was like, oh my God. I was like, he is like getting in there trying to, you know. But other than that, that was the only part that surprised me.
Yeah.
You know.
So since then, I know you've mentioned to me, like I've had clients asking me about my smile and the process. How often does that happen? How do people bring that up?
Well, it was kind of one of those things, especially with my family and my clients. Like, I just told them because they were going to come in one day and be like, wait a minute, I've been looking at you for the past 5, however many years, you know, especially family, your whole life. It's like, it's not like it was going to be a secret.
Yeah.
But even they're the ones that I feel like the reaction is the most. Because if I haven't met you, you don't know. You're just like, oh,
this is true.
she has a great smile. But my clients, they're like, oh my God, like it's every day. You know, if I haven't seen my family member, they see me, they're like, oh my God, it looks amazing. My sister was just staring at me, just weirdly she's like, I have to get used to it. It's just, we were at the Atlanta game that I told you about, and she's like, it just looks so good. It just looks so good. I'm like, I know, I know it does.
You're not telling me anything I don't know, sis. Yeah.
So, it's all the time.
Yeah.
Really.
Cool. Good. So if somebody is on the fence, maybe they're surfing Instagram or Facebook or whatever, about transforming their smile, what would you say to that person that's maybe hesitating, or what would you say to them?
I would say 100% to do it, because I know some people, it can kind of come off like, oh, you just want to look good. No, this is about feeling good about yourself too. That's just a bonus. It makes you look a little better, but it's an empowering feeling for yourself.
For sure. Yes.
100%.
Yep. Yeah.
Do it. You will not regret it at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a good point that you make. And you know, whether we're styling our hair or we're having a smile transformation or we're really dialing in our fitness, I mean, it is about feeling good and feeling better and showing up in a way that you feel good about yourself, and therefore that
Absolutely.
translates into whatever you're doing every day.
Absolutely.
If you feel good, you feel better, you're probably going to deliver better on whatever it is that you're doing every day, right?
100%. And I feel like that just kind of goes with everything.
Yeah.
You know, if you show up to work and your hair's not done and your outfit's not, you're kind of thrown together, you feel thrown together.
Yeah.
And your clients feel that from you. They don't care that you're, you know, but it's a feeling.
Yeah.
And if you work in any type of job like this, if you know, you know. And it's actually like a psychological fact. Like if you're together,
Yeah.
you feel together, that's going to radiate onto
People
your people.
people
They
feel
it,
that. People feel that.
100%.
They see that. They know it.
100%.
Whether it's your smile, your hair, whatever, people know that, and it makes a difference.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like as a society, moms kind of get the short end of the stick. Like, we're not supposed to take the time to work out. We're not supposed to take the time to do all of these things for ourselves that everybody else does, because we're putting, you know, all of our time into our kids. And I have 2 kids and a toddler. One of them is. And she takes up a lot of my time, and I love that, and I wouldn't trade that, but it is very important to me to put that 20% into myself, because if I'm running on empty, I'm running on empty for them too. So, but yes, there's many times I've thought, I'm like, oh, God, you know, I probably shouldn't do this, or I should wait, and you know what, I've put it off forever. And I just kind of came to the point that, like, if I'm going to do this, I'm doing it now. I'm not waiting. And I'm glad that I did finally push myself. So, and my son was like the best. He's like, oh my God, Mom. He's like, it looks amazing. And like, he does still, like, he'll be like, oh, your pictures look good. It's just, he's the best. And my family, everybody's been super supportive. And I won't go into like personal drama, but I have been in a harder season in life lately, and everybody was just, I was surprised at the reaction from family and coworkers, and they're like, you deserve this, you need this right now, and do it. And I was like, all right, we're doing it. I mean, I was doing it anyway, but I appreciate the push. Yeah, so I do not regret it at all.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so we deliver the case. We're both thrilled, pumped, looks great. You go home, you have these new teeth, and you said, you know, it took you a couple of days just to kind of, this is different, feels more full, that sort of thing. Talk to me about eating and how maybe that was different at all, your oral care, you know, hygiene, routines every day, brushing, flossing, that sort of thing. Because I know that's something people want to know about, and yeah.
Yes. So eating the first few days was odd.
Yeah.
A little odd. I just kind of did softer things for probably 2 or 3 days, and then, you know, it feels normal now when I'm eating. I'm still hyper aware because, let's be honest, it's a huge investment, right? And I'm very diligent. Like, I want to take good care, and I feel that it helps if you do have any of those pesky habits, like you bite things or you bite your nails. I no longer bite my nails. I do not bite really like head on into anything. I probably overdo it with being careful, but I definitely just kind of chew on the side, I guess, no more. But
which you're fine to eat from the front, but I know what you're saying.
yeah.
You just,
well, if it's soft, I do. But if it's like hard at all, I'm like, nope, not doing it.
You're just taking extra precautions. Yeah.
So brushing is pretty much the same. Now, I shamefully admit this to my dentist that this is the most I've ever flossed in my life. So I do find that so I needed the volume in my teeth, right?
Yes.
And so I do find that food and things can get in between your teeth a little easier. And so I have floss in the bathroom, floss in my purse, floss at work, floss in my car.
Yeah.
So pretty much every time after I eat, I get in there, I make sure there's no food particles left in between or anything like that. And then I did add a water pick to my routine.
Yeah.
I actually really like that thing. I didn't know
Yeah.
it take. When I turned it on, it like shot water
Yeah,
like a fire hydrant. I was like, what?
It will irrigate your bathroom if you don't use it
Yes.
right. Or,
And so I like to do that around the top on the tissue. It feels good and it makes me feel better because I feel like I'm making sure like nothing's like trying to get down in there. And that's pretty, I do how do you say the mouthwash? The
Closest?
Closest.
Yeah, closest.
I
Yeah.
actually love that mouthwash. It's my 12-year-old has started
Yeah.
using it.
Awesome.
It doesn't burn. And I'm like, that's right.
Yes.
You use it whenever you want.
Yes.
But I'm just it's almost made me better at my oral hygiene because I'm like, look, we are taking care of this investment. You know what I mean? And everybody thinks that way. If you spend money on it, you're more likely
right.
to take. It's a little psychological
Yeah,
tick. You're gonna brush more, floss more, all the things. So
I love it.
but yeah, I just have a cleaner mouth.
What I would say to someone on the fence after talking, Alicia and I talking about the process for her, is that you don't know what you don't know. And what I mean by that is there are so many different possibilities when it comes to transforming your smile. And so I think a lot of people get caught in the process of, I can't do it because of reasons X, Y, and Z, which in reality, we have ways that we can overcome some of those barriers. In some cases like yours, no prep. I don't really want my teeth shaved down. In those certain cases, that can be a no prep. We don't have to do any of that. And if you, I think people think, well, it's going to look fake. It's going to look like, bathroom tile or chiclets or something like that when they think of veneers but I make sure that it's going to look natural.
I was about to say that.
Because
I've seen some of
it's not
those,
it's
but
not
it ain't not for
only
you.
it's not only you, the patient, walking around wanting them to look natural. It's a representation of what I do every single day. Exactly. Same with hair, right? It's a signature of my work out there that I want to reflect the highest quality possible of myself and what I can deliver for my patients. I want it to look natural. I want it to look like there's something different about you. You're just glowing. Your smile looks great. I mean, a lot of times people say, did you straighten your teeth? And so I work really hard, like you said, with the details of making sure that it's a natural outcome for our patients. But I would say uncover what's possible for you. Don't just assume that that you can't do it for reasons X, Y, and Z. That's why I have things like the virtual smile appointment that we can do where you can submit pictures. You don't even have to show up to the office. It's really easy to see what's possible for you in your smile transformation. So take it upon yourself to uncover what can be possible in life transforming for you when it comes to your smile.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go old school, and the thing we've heard our entire lives: you only live once. And you never know when that window's gonna close or anything like that. How long you're gonna be here, and just do it. Live your life. You only get one. You're only younger. We all know it goes by very fast. So absolutely, just do it. You won't regret it.
Thanks so much for coming on the podcast, Alicia. This is episode 2. It was a pleasure.
It was fun.
Always great.
Never done this,
Yeah.
Or check this off the bucket list.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.